All right, good morning. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. Sorry for a little stall at the beginning, but we're continuing right off from where we left off. The previous live stream, Ahn Rho Project, covering a logistical review. What you see is what you get. Take a look at the title, take a look around the room. We have a whole bunch of stuff to cover, and where I left off, actually, again, self-therapeutic multimedia project for me to solve the problems and challenges in my life, self-improvement process to reach the goals and heights I set for myself. So I covered at least 7 to 10 items here, from health, nutrition, business, all that kind of shit, garbage, food items, the laptop, making new purchases, employment benefits, a whole bunch of stuff, financial matters. Actually, I missed 2 things as well. In fact, I have to cover the fact that I made 2 spreadsheets, one relating to business. I had to keep track of kind of like a customer client management system, as well as an Excel spreadsheet that I need to keep up to date, that I created new for my boss at my workplace. So I want to make a package for when I leave, sort of like an Excel spreadsheet that documents all the roles and duties and how to perform them, so that since I'm the pioneer, I can pass it on to the next guy who's going to take on the role after me. So that's something else I forgot to speak about. 2 things I forgot to speak about regarding the laptop. So that's at least 12 different items there. And then we ended off the stream right here from the previous one. Again, wherever you're from, 안녕하세요. I saw someone's asked me about the knees thing. They're like, I don't know, you can't see me, I'm sorry. But long story short, that was from Africa TV. So, if you're from Facebook or Twitch or YouTube, wherever you are from, welcome to the Ahn Rho Project. But we're just going back on. We're just going to head straight back to where we left off. I'm sorry about that. This is basically some stuff I received in the mail, and we're just continuing off, going to cover about 150 different tasks or items. And I believe this is the second and the final last stream. Before we end the stream off, we're going to give the take-home message, so stay tuned for that as well, because that's important. So why don't we just deep dive into everything? No time to waste. We have 2 packages here received from the mail. What do they symbolize? And on top of here, there's also mail as well. So all of this stuff here, shipping packages. The most important thing I can say is that the packages down here are, again, more things regarding the supplements that you see on the table desk. It's from a business that I'm using to basically experiment with my own body, because I am a biomedical researcher in when I was taking university level studies, and now I'm basically putting that into practice. Now I can show a couple things here. For instance, there's a Procosa one, for especially since I'm working in the warehouse right now, almost like the bottleneck between 5 different teams. I'm constantly incredibly active, and it's very heavy lifting work. So I take all these sorts of things in here, and these purchases came into my mail. So obviously, rolling in, onboarding with the business, I had to spend a lot of capital at the very beginning so far, and I have a few people who I've brought into the business itself, but also just to see if they can actually benefit from the health. So it's going to be like a case study for me. What I will say is that as a result, there's a whole bunch. Let's say there's me, there's myself, and then there's 3 other people. So at the very base minimum, I had to create an account for all of that. Think about creating all the accounts, recording all the billing information, times that by 4, because I myself am in already, but then 3 other people. And then there were transactions that were automated monthly transactions, and then there were also one-off transactions that we did for promotional sakes. And so as a result of auto transactions, one-off transactions, purchases, billing information, also accounts themselves, and then having the number of clients, multiply that by matrices, and then of course having to schedule meetings with them online or in person. Right now mostly online thanks to COVID, but then I had to speak with my own business partner who brought me in, again, 2 years ago in the making. I've been researching the company for a long time now, but long story short, the volunteer who I used to work with at the hospital that I volunteer at. So long story short, we're working together now. I've had to have meetings. Some meetings were 4 hours, some went up to 7 hours with my business partner, and she's been a wonderful person helping me get my foot into the whole, shenanigans here. But you can see that if I do sort of like a 2x2 or 3x3 dimensional matrices, at least 150 things related to all this, and I still have to bring the product over to my clients as well. On top of that, there's just a whole bunch of, financial matters, having to write down the confirmation orders and stuff like that so that they can be picked up from the warehouse. So all is at least 50 different things, and this has been driving me insane the past 2 months and the past 3 weeks maybe, because of a deadline that's up and coming. So already right here at the very beginning of this second live stream today, on top of those like 50 different things that we can speak about, and the 15 different things, 15 or odd different things that were on the table desk, are already up to the count of 60. And things have been a complete mess, but that's only a blimp in the radar. So what about the mail here? I mentioned that I received mail regarding updated policies to the financial institution, one of the financial institutions that I am enrolled in, obviously. As a result, I'm getting mail. I have to scan and do the paperwork for that. I also have some mail here that's actually for my caregivers, and we'll get to that in a second, so I'm going to give that to them. So moving on, okay, at least that's done. That was a huge mouthful. And again, to the person who actually left a comment before, I'm just running with the show, so there's so much to cover. I apologize sincerely that I wasn't able to reply to your comment. I didn't even take notice until I looked into the camera itself, even though I can face it. So if you leave your comments, I'll try to get to it by the end of the live stream, but there's a lot to cover. All right, in the closet area, I took out a lot of stuff. I mentioned laundry. Okay, so right here, I should go here. The bed's a fucking mess. I don't give a shit. Take a look on the side. So we have the laundry here. Why is this still here? So I actually missed laundry by about 3 days late. And so I ended up having to conflict with, again, living with just 4 different tenants, myself included. There's a lot of conflict in time schedules if I don't do things right. I didn't do it right, so I mentioned that right here. Again, I have to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly on stream because this is a self-therapeutic process. I have to cover things that are not so pretty. So, long story short, I did the laundry about 3 days late, and that's right here. I ran out of boxer shorts, so that's another thing I had to cover, is that basically I had to go make some purchases of things that are running low outside, to go to, Walmart and pick up some new clothing, because the socks are breaking holes, the underwear is just, I don't have enough, I guess, the boxers. And then on top of that, I had to do the laundry. That was late. And then next to that, at the very bottom is supposed to be a crate, which is actually on the floor now. So next to the laundry bin here, that's 3 days late, we have this crate right here. I mentioned in previous passing that I'm supposed to use the plastic garbage bags, plastic shopping bags, sorry, my bad, in here, that I've saved from as almost like gifts. They were souvenirs from, I used to volunteer, I still do actually, with the long-term care seniors home, and I received a lot of gifts in around 2016 when I graduated from university and so on and so forth. So long story short, there's a lot of gifts here I kept for souvenirs sake, but the plastic bags I really should just take out and start using them. So that's, again, something that I should use. Why? Because all the plastic bags here that I bring to work, which you see here, so we're just moving on again to the workplace, it's tattered, it's dilapidated, it's breaking down, and the whole point is to use up all the plastic bags, get rid of all the waste. So with that being said, that's about 4 or 5 items already after the whole business kind of thing and health related stuff and research. So waste, we're on to waste now and the workplace. So we were covering some things from the workplace. Let's cover some waste from my workplace right here. The garbage bag right here. The Walmart bag right here. On the inside, we have some stuff that I want to keep, honestly. I usually put the food and safety materials that I bring to work, as well as some of my supplements inside. And then on top of that, on the outside, I took out all the garbage. So this is from a grocery store, but on the inside, you actually see a cup and a dish. And what's that all about? It's a class 4 item, meaning it's a gift from my fellow staff or colleagues. Basically, they had Diwali, and a lot of them are Hindu, so happy Diwali. And they are having the festival of lights and so on and so forth. Sorry, that's Hanukkah, isn't it? My bad. But long story short, I'm not up to date with this. But long story short, they're having a great family time over the weekend. I hope them nothing but the very best. And the final day before they do that, it was Friday, they decided to bring a whole bunch of home-cooked sweets and savory, samosa, murku, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so they treated me to that, and they treated the whole company to that. So it was very nice. And inside, of course, I put that inside this bag of grocery items, which is garbage. I finished it all. We have some wafers here, the green plastic bags for bananas. You can see that's basically coupled up here with all these groceries. There's about 3 different purchases of groceries right here. This one was long standing. I covered in a previous live stream, the bag of chips and the almond drink, including this beverage. So that's all garbage. But of course, we had the next purchase after that I didn't cover on stream was all these Ensure bottles of Glucerna Ensure orange flavor, orange cream. Haven't tried that before, and the fiber one right here. So CFOS, SCFOS, short chain fatty acids, reminds me back in the days, advanced metabolism, it's like bio three something, third year university level course. And yeah, it's just taking me back. So Ensure, Glucerna, and then we have all this junk food here that I really should not be eating. Chips, chips. I tried to buy the ones that had more fiber and less fat and less salt. And if it has salt, I tried to get potassium instead of sodium. So just some key highlights there, But I wasn't consistent. There were some chips here that are actually garbage. Basically, you shouldn't be eating chips anyways. I just having horrible 2 months, 2 to 3 months. We have some snacks here, sweets, all just really fucking garbage. You're not supposed to eat this kind of stuff. I don't recommend it. Again, I've been having a horrible month. Everything collapsed in on itself. So we have a lot of waste here. Again, more Tim Hortons, more garbage, more stuff. Like I've been eating paninis from Tim Hortons just in case I didn't have any meals to take my supplements. I had to go and do that. So as you see, a whole bunch of recyclables and garbage. And on top of that, we got to go back down here because this is something I covered in a previous stream. This entire bag is just garbage that's been here for almost a month, more than a month, maybe 5 weeks, absolutely rotting on the inside. I make sure not to open this. I have to toss this out either today or tomorrow. I still haven't gotten it done. It was on a previous stream a week ago. So again, just a bucket list is astronomical. Next to it, we missed this thing. Next to the closet region, we said there were 5 things, all the clothing related stuff. Well, guess what? This thing from my workplace, these totem poles, they look like I said before, I had only 1 and then 2, and now I have 3. Again, going to use it as a makeshift craft, either for a table. Also, I can use it for martial arts, a little bit of exercise. All right, moving back down here, all this stuff, I need to get rid of it. Again, more related to business and nutritional stuff, but I need to get that all sorted out. Okay, it's just a mess. At the very top, we're wrapping things up, very close to it. At the very back over there, we have some Chinese newspapers. I clipped my nails on there, so that's something class 2 item, and it's got garbage. Gonna get rid of that. And then on top of that, we have of course, that we mentioned in a previous live stream. This is basically a suit, a full coverall. And at the same time that I mentioned I have to switch to my winter clothing with coverall and the large kind of dull leather jacket, not a leather jacket, but it's just a long thigh length jacket so that it breaks through the wind, covers me from the wind, protects me from the wind. So there's that jacket, there's that coverall to protect me again, the winter, Canadian winters. It's not that cold yet. But on top of that, at my workplace, I'm starting to feel a little bit. I had a day of back pain, which is ridiculous because I'm less than 30. But nevertheless, I have to protect myself. So I'm starting to wear this thing. One of my colleagues, a great friend of mine, let's just say AL, he said, listen, work smart, not hard. Or you work hard and smart, please. So you can't buy your back again. You can't buy your health. So I'm wearing this now from now on at the same time whenever I do heavy lifting, which is ironically from my workplace as well. I made a purchase from my workplace. Last but not least, all this shit here for my caregivers I did not get to. So I finally made some edits here to the title here, and I put some dividers onto the notebook. I took them back, and now I'm going to give it to my caregivers. On top of that, there's at least $600 I'm going to reimburse again back to my caregivers, and I want to help them recover. On top of that, I also have to fix up the relationships between my business partner as well as my caregivers, because right now she's suffering, and quite honestly, she would do it to actually listen to a nurse, and just, put the petty stuff aside. Long story short, this is everything. I can't deliver take-home message because I don't have enough time. Just take care of yourself, your family, take care of yourself. That's the take-home message as short as possible. The Ahn Rho Project, thank you for tuning in. 15 minutes. Take care. Ahn Rho signing out. Ciao. Goodbye. And see you in the next live stream. Oh.